first off, I know Hunchback scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So, and I'm not being anti. It's not like I was anti-handicap, but I was not a big Hunchback fan at all. Like, he scared the shit out of me. So,
you're not being anti-Hunchback, bro?
Theme song guy.
Oh yeah! He's the sovereign lord of the nation. He's the hippest cat in creation. He's the alpha, the omega, A to Z. And this perfect world will spin around his every little whim. Cause his perfect world begins and ends with me. What's his name? Cusco. That's his name. He's the king of the world. Is he hippo? What? Yeah.
Welcome back, you guys. Thank you for joining us. This is the Millennial Classics with yours truly, Swartik Mayanja and Mamburi Makaya.
how's it going?
On this podcast, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events from our generation. Mamburi, it's good to see you, brother. Tell the folks at home, tell the people, what are we which classic are we choosing? What are we talking about today, brother?
All right, so I'm so excited about this because today we're doing Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
And I think this is a millennial classic. The same way, if you're like the youngest sibling and you get like a hand-me-down, this is the hand-me-down of Disney movies.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Perfect way to describe the Emperor's New Groove.
Because we got kind of like born in the post, like, so Disney had this huge renaissance in the 90s of all these big movies that pretty much every generation past that has watched because they're all huge movies. And then like now Disney's doing like big things, Frozen and all those other movies that are coming out now. But there was a stretch there in the early 2000s where there wasn't much, but it was Emperor's New Groove. And that's why this is a millennial classic, because it didn't do well in the box office. But it killed in home video. Like, first, I had the DVD when I was a kid.
Yes, so I have to say that, like, that's such a good point because so at this time, like, so we were super young, but I never saw this movie in theaters, and you're right. This is one of those this is diamond in the rough kind movies. There are very few people I've met that have dislike Emperor's New Groove, but there are also a lot of people, especially people younger than us, that have never seen the Emperor's New Groove. This is indeed when I think of a millennial classic, this is it. Like, this is a perfect choice for a millennial classic because it really is. People our age got to enjoy this movie, and it really should be. A lot more people should watch it. A lot more people should see it. It is a fantastic movie. I think that does indeed cover why this movie is super important and why this movie is a classic.
Obviously, this movie's not a masterpiece,
to say the least.
Which is why I think it's even more of a millennial classic, because it's not. This isn't Toy Story.
It's not perfect. Right? It's far from it.
This isn't like a great work of art. This is legit just like a funny short animation movie that literally flies by. It's fun. 85% of Rotten Tomatoes. And honestly, I think it's one of the most underrated animation movies. I have this and Surf's Up are my two underrated.
Let me let y'all know something. Surf's Up will never be on this podcast. It is the furthest thing from a classic. That is a horrible movie.
I'm about to get my microphone taken away.
Yes.
All right. Before I do this, it's my. All right. Let me get this out there before I get sound.
Go ahead.
My three underrated movies.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Emperor's New Groove, Surf's Up, and then the last one is, it's not really underrated. It's just that because of all the the big movies of the 90s, I feel like Hercules doesn't get its due.
I can clap it up for Hercules.
It has fire songs.
It is fantastic. Hercules.
Hades in that is just insane. So
incredible bad guy.
So Swartik, tell us what's going on in 2000.
So let me take you down memory lane. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but in 2000 people were afraid, and I don't want to say that this took away from the movie because the movie came out December of 2000. if you knew anything about what was going in 2000, I really typed it in Wikipedia, people thought that the world was going to end. I mean, I don't know if it was the Mayan clock, the Indonesian clock, but they thought the world was going to end. That might have taken away from the focus on Emperor's New Groove. But also, I have to let you guys know that this was December of 2000. The Supreme Court stopped Florida presidential recount and gave the contest, gave the presidency to George W. Bush. Shit was going down, I mean, globally and like nationally. So for people to focus on an animated movie. And then just like Mumburi mentioned, the Renaissance. And I just wanted to really quickly go down the Renaissance just to remind you guys.
We'll do that later.
Okay, perfect. So those are the two major events that was going on. We'll talk about the Renaissance moving forward. But let's just jump into describing this movie. All right, let's go. Mumburi. Before rewatching, when I asked you, when you mentioned, let's do Emperor's New Groove, what was the first thing that came to mind?
So, the first thing that comes to mind is, and there's a second part to this question, but to this answer, I guess, but the whole monologue, flashback, talking into the camera.
Yes.
This is pretty much the first time I saw this as a kid, where it was like, you zoom in on the llama and he was like, that's me.
Yes.
And then talking about it. And then like a lot of other meta stuff, like when they're doing the, you know, like when they're doing the chasing, it kind of goes into like the Indiana Jones, like look on a map.
Yes.
But then when they're actually running, they look down and it's like
the actual map is actually like that's what they're running on. Yes.
That kind of stuff, I think, is the part that stuff really aged really well. And so the second part, the reason why I said this is the second part was, do you think this movie's like better or worse with or without that? Like if it was just a straight up normal movie,
yeah, like Lion
without
King
all
type.
that extra stuff, or do you think it's better with it?
It's so hard for me to say because to answer your question, I have to say no. I think I'm sorry. I think the movie is better with that in it because that's what I was smiling about the most when I was watching it. But I totally forgot that was a part of the movie personally. So that's not what I thought of when you first said The Emperor's New Groove. But I absolutely loved it. That was like what's it called? Like you said, it's that meta Deadpool like coming out of the movie in the movie.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall.
It was. I loved it.
Hi, excuse me. 2 seconds here. I'm the one in the car, remember? This story's about me, not him. Okay, you got it? All right, we're gonna move ahead. Sorry to slow you down.
I died laughing even in the beginning when he was like, yes, this movie is about me. It's not about Pacha. Like, I loved.
Yeah, and like they zoomed out and the monkey was like eating something and they were like, what are you doing?
Yes, I loved it.
So what did you think about it? Before we even watched it? What was yours?
So when you saw first, so I loved all I know is that the intro to the movie was my favorite part because I loved it. I don't know who that guy is. I don't even think the guy has like a character name, but he's like the hype man for The Emperor's New Groove. I love that dude. And that was the first thing that came to mind.
This is a great segue.
Yes.
Into the best scenes of the movie because I think the opening really sets the tone.
Oh, very
off
high.
the jump.
Very high.
The monologue, the intro song, you're messing with the Emperor's Groove.
Yes.
And then it goes right into like the savage wife selection.
Oh.
Where he's like
savagery. Absolute savage.
Hate your hair. Not likely. Yikes. 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 And let me guess, you have a great personality. Is this really the best you could do?
Let me guess, you have a great personality. And I'm like, oh my God.
It is actually incredible the way he's such a dick. And by the way, I think Disney did such a good job. I mean, I hated Kuzco for I'd say the vast majority of the movie. This is an
important point.
Yes,
Kuzco's a dick.
He's such a dick. It's not even real. It's not real.
And this part's important. When you were a kid, did you hate Kuzco? Because I really liked him when I was a kid.
That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. Watching it now, the entitlement of this guy of Kuzco like hurt me. It was hurtful watching the movie.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I don't remember hating him this much. It was that entertaining. I think it was because it was all of the singing and the dancing and his craziness that it took me I took a step back from it. But yeah, he's a dick. He's a very big dick.
That's one of the things I jotted down real quick was when I was a kid, I really liked Cusco, and now when I look back at it, not only do I feel like he's a complete asshole and I like him less, it's the fact that, and this is gonna lead to a wild ass reach.
Yeah.
But like now that I think about it, there's pretty much 3 main characters because Pacha is pretty much a main character.
He's a main character. Yzma's
and Yzma is a main character.
Yes.
So I literally, and this is when you can tell me to shut up.
Okay.
But
Hit me.
I literally was thinking about this, and I was like, this movie with 3 main characters, a villain, a good guy, and someone who's like kind of in between.
Yeah.
And I was literally thinking, you know what movie this reminds me of?
What movie?
Yo, No Country for Old Men.
Oh my!
Have you seen that movie?
Yes, I've seen No Country for Old Men.
So it also has 3 characters.
Yes.
One good, one the sheriff, the bad guy, Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
And then Llewellyn, who is kind of like the good bad guy. Like he's stealing money, but he's not like a killer.
Are you sure?
Josh Brolin.
Okay, well, I feel like the movie makes him out to like. I feel like I think he would be considered a bad guy, Burry.
Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
He doesn't. Yeah, I know. You're rooting for him.
Of course. Oh,
same
right,
way.
Sure, but
so
like,
it's the same way. It's the same way where you're rooting for
Cusco to become back. Yes. Okay. I guess I see it. I guess I see it. But I feel like he's much more bad. Like,
yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is, New Country for Old Men ripped off Emperor's New Groove.
You're insane. You're insane. I can see it, but you're insane. I like the stretch. That's what it's about. But you're insane.
Which makes Woody Harrelson Crunk, if anyone's
Kronk, great. Thank you for saying Kronk, because I was about to.
Yeah, we'll talk about Kronk.
I love Kronk. He's just pure entertainment, and I don't know. Like, when I thinking about The Emperor's New Groove, I was afraid that I was just gonna dislike Kronk because he was gonna be like a Dory type of character where it's like just straight comedy. He is all the comedy relief, doing dumb shit the whole time, but he is actually entertaining. It is funny to watch him. He's entertainment.
Here's the main issue with Kronk. Is he just like an idiot, or is something actually wrong with him? And I'm not even saying this to be mean, but like the way he thinks and his thought process, and like clear, it's almost like he's a Forrest Gump type character and not just an idiot. You know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course. No, I know what you mean. Like, there is actually something wrong. I do not think that that's the actual goal.
Or he's on drugs. That's the other thing.
Nope. I think he's just stupid. I think he really is just stupid, but he is he's just entertainment stupid. But
he is he's like great scenes, great lines.
The cooking, all of it. He loves the cooking. It's just, you're right. Wait, I forgot. Who plays him?
Patrick Warburton.
Yes. He did it right.
Who plays Joe in Family Guy. He does a lot of voices.
Yeah, no, he was fantastic. He did a great job with Gronk.
And then the whole devil and angel
on his shoulders
like thing that they do, I really like that.
Guy.
Where's the other guy?
Yo! Oh, sorry, I'm late. So, what'd I miss?
It's kind of wild to be for a kid's thing, but I kind of like it a lot.
Yeah, so, like, did you pick up on any of the adult jokes during the movie?
What do you mean?
So, obviously you picked up on the savagery. Like, you probably are, like, have a great personality when he was picking the girls.
Yeah.
But, like, there was a bunch of those jokes throughout the movie, and I probably should have taken some goddamn note, like, written them down. But, like, I thought maybe some of those jokes were super inappropriate, but, like, I never remembered them as a kid. So, like, I almost don't blame Disney for throwing in some, like, sexual innuendo jokes that the kids
are. Oh, they have to.
They have to. And I love that they do that because I think in this movie they did it really well. Damn it, I should have added some notes. I wish I had them, but, like, we'll have the him picking out the ladies as one of that. So let's talk about the casting real briefly here. So we both agree that Kronk did really well. I think that Yzma is a fantastic villain. Maybe Kronk helps bring her up a little bit higher, but to them together, that chemistry works so well. So well. I almost like Yzma and Kronk better than I like Cusco and Pacha.
This movie, and Hercules does it too, where the villains are really likable.
Yes.
Like super. Like when you watch Mulan, there's no one that's like, oh yeah, I'm a big Hans guy. I'm a big fan of the Huns. Like no one watches like yo, like me and Scar till the end.
I don't know, bro. Scar is pretty good. Scar is a pretty good bad guy. Like, he's not likable, but he's entertaining.
That's my point. There's no one that's rooting for Scar, though.
Oh, yeah, no. No one's rooting for him.
And I guess no one's rooting for Yzma, but she's enjoyable.
She's so enjoyable.
She has funny jokes. She puts herself in funny situations. She also, I like how she, at one point, addresses the fact that she has to rely on Croc.
Right, bro, right.
And then they do this scene. Oh, when you're talking about inappropriate stuff, they do this scene where she's about to like rip off her dress, and they all like recoil.
Then I bet you weren't expecting this. No! Aha!
Oh, okay.
And it's just like a knife, and they're like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
God.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. No, but I did really like. I loved Yzma. I loved Yzma. She was very good. Who do you think did the worst? Who do you think did from the casting, from all the characters? Is there anyone you didn't like? Is there anyone you could have done without?
Done without. The thing with this movie is it's such a short movie.
Yep, and it should.
I think they could have added something with the family, because I feel like Pacha's wife has nothing to do.
Absolutely not.
Like, you don't even know who she is.
Nope.
And I feel like they could have done a scene before and made it funny, where it was like Pacha and his family, like something besides the Emperor. But I think it has to be her, because she has nothing to do.
She does have, really? Yeah, she does have nothing to do. But those kids are funny. I mean, they're like, the thing is,
kids are funny.
The kids are and like the whole Burry. I gotta clap it up. I had like I'm a grown ass man here, and I had a blast watching this movie an hour ago. Like, this is a great movie. Like,
dude, the back and forth, like when they're playing double dutch.
Yes.
They're skipping, or like in the restaurant scene when they're going back and forth, or when they're like going into the secret lab, like the witty back and forth.
Quick banter.
It all ages really well. The banter.
Yeah.
And then obviously the chase scene is a highlight for me.
With the map, you mean?
Yeah,
obviously.
The music.
Yes.
The music and the map, and they get back, and somehow Yzma gets there before them, and they address it. And so I had a question for you.
Hit me.
All right, you're going to go see the Emperor, right?
Yes.
You've been summoned, just like the DMV. You're pretty much or jury duty.
Yep.
Right, you go in there.
You have to.
You get summoned. You're about to walk into like the courtroom or DMV. And then you just see some dude fly out a window, land on top of you. And then you help him down. And he's like, yeah, I just got thrown out.
That old dude was funny as hell.
Messing up the Emperor's dance moves, or messing up
his groove.
Like, the DMV's groove, dude.
No! You threw off my groove.
I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the Emperor's groove.
Tell me you wouldn't just go back in.
You would turn the fuck around.
You would get out of it.
You would get out of it. I mean, but that scene was hilarious. The way he was freaking out about it, he was shaking. He was like, "Don't mess up the groove. The groove. The groove." Yes. Obviously you would turn around. But at the same time, he was supposed to be like the head of the clan of the village or whatever. And then he has to, or else the Emperor's gonna fuck him up anyway. So in his situation, he had no choice. But that was a great opening.
So who's the MVP for you?
MVP's Yzma. I love Yzma, bro. I think it makes sense. And to be honest, bro, like, if you look, like, in the beginning of the movie, Yzma's sitting on the throne, and she sends the peasant away because the peasant's like, I'm hungry. And she's like, who told you to be born a peasant?
Yeah, dude. When she said that, I literally was like, dude, Yzma could run for president. Right? Also, I was like, dude, if I told you Yzma was Trump's grandmother,
you say facts.
That's plausible. That's plausible.
Facts.
That's plausible.
Exactly. Like, real talk plausible. And then you see the way that Cusco treats Pacha, and telling him, I'm going to build a swimming pool on your village. Everyone in your village is going to get lost. I'm like, Yzma and Cusco, them ruling the country, Like it's the same. Like if Yzma's a bad guy because she's trying to kill what's it called, Cusco's also a bad guy because they're just as bad.
Yeah, Cusco's just less competent.
Exactly.
So Yzma's more dangerous, pretty much.
She is exactly. She's more dangerous than Cusco just cares about I want to party.
I agree. I have her as my MVP too, and it's because I think it's so hard for the villain to be really likable.
Yeah.
And it's the same reason why I put Hercules on this list and Surf's Up for that matter, because I'm gonna bring Surf's Up one more time.
You're insane.
But Hades in that movie, James Woods is so likable. You almost feel bad for him. You feel bad for him, and you kind of feel bad for Yzma for putting up with. She's old as hell.
Right? In the movie, she says she raised him. So she knew her whole life.
And she's been putting up with this dude for years, decades. And you're just like if you really think about it, she's just fed up.
She's fed up, bro. Like,
she probably runs the country anyway.
Exactly, bro. Coming off of Game of Thrones, like, I'm surprised he stayed alive this long, right? Like, I feel like I wouldn't be that pissed off if Yzma ended up ruling the kingdom, you know? But like,
well, if we wanted to actually talk Game of Thrones about this, right? So they talk about how she always hires idiots.
Yes.
Big dumb idiots to work for her, and that's probably because she doesn't want to hire anyone smart because she'll feel threatened.
Facts.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, but because she hires big dumb idiots, she can't get anything done. So, like, when she's trying to get him to kill Cusco, she's, like, bashing the broccoli together, and this dude's just not putting the pieces together. And you can just tell this partnership is just so bad.
It's horrible.
Because there's definitely miscommunication.
Kronk is just too stupid for Yzma to be successful, but I think she likes it that way because she wants to feel powerful. Like, it's her goal, but at the end of the day, it's her own undoing. Like, it ends up messing her up. But like, okay, so question, moving on, my friend. How big of a deal? I know we touched upon this and saying that it wasn't that great, but let's talk about the rest of the Renaissance, right? How big of a deal was this movie at the time? How big of a deal was this movie at the time?
So we're going to talk about the Renaissance next. But right before, I want to talk to you about this movie getting made. Because I didn't know. So this movie was in, like, production hell, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So this movie came out in 2000. Yeah. You know, guess what year they started development?
What, 90, 96, 97?
94.
Jesus Christ.
It was going to be a musical.
This movie was 140 minutes. Not even. Wait, really? In 94?
It was gonna be a musical.
Yeah.
Called Kingdom of the Sun, with 6 Sting songs, right? Directed by the guy who directed Lion King.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
Mark Dindal, right? And he's still credited as a director.
Yeah, he is. That's who I have written down.
Yeah, he's still credited as a director, but he left. So what ended up happening was it was supposed to be an Incan retelling of Prince and the Pauper with David Spade as a young emperor called Manco. Owen Wilson is Pacha, who's a young villager that looks like the emperor.
Okay,
right?
Okay. I can see Owen Wilson as Pacha. I can definitely see that. I really like that. By the way, the inside scoop, this is some behind the scenes stuff. We were going to do Wedding Crashers, so Owen Wilson is fresh in my heart and good.
Yeah,
things.
We'll still do Wedding Crashers.
Of course, but like, I can definitely see that. That's such a good guy role. That's such an Owen Wilson role. Go ahead, keep going.
So Yzma was Eartha Kitt, who plays her now, but originally the first choice was Barbra Streisand.
All right, okay.
And then Carla Gugino. Do you know who she is?
I don't. Sorry.
So she.
Anything I'm trying else she did?
So she actually did. Have you seen the movie San Andreas?
Yes, with The Rock. Dwayne The Rock.
Yeah, she's the mom in that.
Oh, okay.
She's been in a ton of TV shows. I'm trying to see if there's if you ever watch Entourage, she's Vince's new agent that when he leaves Ari.
Yeah. So what I'm going to say is I love Yzma, so I like. It's hard for me to want anyone else outside of Yzma. I mean Eartha Kitt for Yzma, but I really did like Eartha Kitt as Yzma.
Yeah. But she was supposed to be the Emperor's fiance.
Oh, okay. So she was okay.
So she was going to be a new character.
Yes. All right.
And pretty much they tested the movie when they were like 50% through making this movie.
Yes.
And it tested so badly that they stopped production. Right?
Jesus.
And they reworked it, tried it back up again, and the director went and was like, "Yo, I need 6 more months to do it." And they were like, "No." Like they had McDonald's tie-ins and stuff. And the director just dipped. And the other director came in, and they had other people come in, and they ended up completely reworking the movie, removed Owen Wilson, turned him into a middle-aged guy, brought in John Goodman, and they completely reworked it. And it didn't do well in the box office, obviously.
Nope.
And because they redid it so many times, and they removed Sting's songs. They pretty much removed 5 of his songs. There's only 1 song left.
Yeah.
Which I think plays in the credits.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, Sting? I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, plays in the credits. Got nominated for an Oscar.
Are you serious?
The best, yeah.
Can it get nominated for an Oscar if it plays in the credits?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
The best song. But to our point, it was the best-selling DVD of 2001.
Yes, it was the best. And like, I just want to let y'all know what the difference was. So I didn't even know they made $100 million budgeted animated movies back then. Was like all the Renaissance movies, were they all $100 million budgeted?
I think this went over budget because of the thing, but I think they were all very expensive.
That's a shit ton of
back
money.
then I think they hand drew all this stuff first.
Oh yeah. That was before the Finding Nemos and shit. Anyway, so just letting y'all know, it grossed $169 million. This is in theaters.
And that's worldwide.
Worldwide, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it was on the dot $100 million budget. So that's just not.
So it did make money.
It didn't make any money. Pretty much. But
after
back in the day, DVDs were popping, and if you are the #1 DVD in 2001, that's a very, very good.
Yeah.
movie.
So apparently they made like over $125 million from DVD sales. So that's why we all know it. So
exactly.
So now that we know the backstory for it, we can talk about the Disney Renaissance and what when I first started, when I was explaining why this movie is such a big deal. I talked about how it's kind of in this in between.
Yes.
So real quick, right?
Hit me.
Little Mermaid 89, Beauty and the Beast 91, Aladdin 92, Lion King 94, Pocahontas 95, Hunchback 96, Hercules 97, Mulan 98, Tarzan 99. That run is insane. That's 10 years.
It is unheard of for
not only are they
company for Disney. Yeah. That is insane.
And that's only Disney. So when we talk about Disney Animation, we're not talking about Pixar. Nope. We're not talking about like their Disney Toons or any of their other weird like other animation studios. We're just talking about Disney Animation. Then that's 10 movies that are all like
all time.
Like I'll say it this way. I'm pretty sure I had the VHS of at least half of these movies.
Facts.
And when I was a kid, and first off, I know Hunchback scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So. And I'm not being anti. It's not like I was anti-handicap, but I was not a big Hunchback fan at all. Like he scared the shit out of me. So
you're not being anti-Hunchback, bro.
I'm not being anti-Hunchback. He just scared, like when I was a kid, I hated that movie. Wasn't a fan of it.
Right,
I never wanted, dude.
Bro, I don't know how that movie ends. I never finished it.
It traumatized me so bad that I haven't seen it since.
Right?
When I was a kid. But all the other movies are insane. These so we're gonna bring this back around later when we talk about our last question of the episode. But of course. So this is what I call the dark days.
The dark days of Disney. Yes.
Right? Fantasia 2000. Emperor's New that obviously came out in 2000. Emperor's New Groove 2000. Atlantis 01, Lilo and Stitch 02, Treasure Planet 02, Brother Bear 03, Home on the Range 04, Chicken Little 05, Meet the Robinsons 07, Bolt 08, Princess on the Frog 09. So Princess on the Frog, I guess, could go either way, but the others, the only great movies and hits that I see are Lilo and Stitch.
You don't like Atlantis? You weren't a fan of Atlantis?
Well, it wasn't a hit. It bombed.
It did bomb. It did bomb. But were you, Mumburi Makaya, a fan of Atlantis?
I am a big fan, and when they do the Disney remake of Atlantis, I'm definitely going to go see it.
Right? So that's something I wish.
I feel like if they bring Nicolas Cage in, make it National Treasure 3 Atlantis, I'm all the way in there. But
now you're talking my language.
Of these movies, have you seen all of the movies that I just named?
Nope.
Have you seen all of them?
Nope, I don't even know.
So I don't. I didn't know about a bunch of them.
Nope.
And I've all right. So I've seen.
I haven't seen Fantasia. I haven't seen Meet the Rob. Wait, you said Meet the Rob?
Meet the Robinsons. I've seen it. It's a good movie.
Seen it. I haven't seen it. Maybe I should, but I haven't. Go ahead.
But Home on the Range, Bolt, Princess and the Frog, I haven't seen any of those. Maybe, obviously, we were probably too old for Princess and the Frog.
Right.
Maybe Princess and the Frog is a sleeper hit. I don't know. That's why I kind of left it out of there. But from 01 to 08,
trash.
All those movies, very iffy run. Very iffy run.
I have to say, the Brother movie with the bears was horrible.
Brother Bear?
I fell asleep as a kid watching that movie. I remember disliking that movie. So even if we haven't seen all of them, there's definitely a very big dip in quality, and it's uncomparable to the first run of 90s. Right? 90s run. Wait, when did the Pixar movies start then? So Toy Story was in 94, I believe. Okay. And then, but Pixar really took the shine from under Disney. Right? Because Monsters, Inc. we've all seen, Cars we all saw, obviously Toy Story 2, Toy Story 1, Incredibles. So that kind of just, but Disney came back huge. Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, Big Hero 6, that's all Zootopia, Moana, Wreck-It Ralph 2. So, and then Frozen 2. So obviously I think they're back in their groove. In their groove. Pun intended. Basically, what I was trying to say was when we were talking about Millennial Classics, we kind of are right in that shit period. Yep. Where we we ended up we pretty much watched the 90s movies. That's exactly right. And I know there's some geriatrics that are like Bambi or something, or some old, but for all intents and purposes. Disney animation started in '89. Right. So with that being said, and this kind of leads us to our last question. Hit me. Would this get remade now? Because of all the movies that we've talked about, they're all getting remade. So Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin have already come out. Huge hits. Yep. And Dumbo came out, was not a hit. I don't remember Dumbo. I know of Dumbo, but it's an older movie, and I don't think it had the same, obviously didn't have the same hype. But Lion King comes out this year, and that's going to be huge. Mulan, the trailer just came out. It's going to come out next year. Little Mermaid they just cast it. I don't know if they're going to do Pocahontas, because that's a tough that's a tough one. In our PC world, that is a tough one. I like to see white people tackle Pocahontas. Right? Hercules, they're probably not going to do. They should. They really should. They really should. They really should. They did remake Tarzan, which was but it wasn't not Disney. A fan. It wasn't Disney. Wait, really? So the remake of Tarzan, the live action, wasn't Disney? Well, Tarzan's kind of it's just a known story. And so is Hercules. So it's not like a Disney story. Oh, okay. Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. The rest are Disney created imagination. Yeah. But that also goes for Pocahontas, right? That's also true for Pocahontas. Yeah. That makes sense. All right. So that kind of leads us into
this movie, because Emperors, if you look at all those movies, they're kind of remaking all of them, and then at some point they're gonna run out, and then they're gonna have to get, because you can't remake Frozen. It just came out.
It literally just came out.
And they might do like Bambi and all those old ones, but at some point you're gonna get to Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis, Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch, I feel like you can remake today, easy.
Really, and it would be
Treasure Planet. And for those movies, do you think it can be remade right now? Like, let's say Emperor's New Groove. Let's talk about this movie.
Yes.
Could you remake it right now? Live action.
I am very, very wary about these remakes, especially when they are animal filled, right? Like Jungle Book, I was super happy about. I thought that
I forgot about that one.
Right,
And that was a hit, and a lot of people liked it.
I liked it a lot. What I'm super nervous about is because I've seen these commercials. Like Aladdin, I thought was fun and exciting because it had human beings in it. The Lion King, I am super wary about Lion King because there's no human being. So why does it need to be live action? No, seeing live animals talking to each other does not get me excited unless there's human beings involved. So,
well, you're gonna go see it, and it's gonna make $1 billion. So,
straight facts. But so what I'm coming to is, yes, of course that this movie should be made into a live action remake. Because it is about a human turning into a llama. This is I think, a perfect type of movie that you would want to be remade. But at the same time, a lot of what I liked about the movie was the crazy outside the box, like you said, like the breaking the fourth wall, like the map on the floor, like all of these things that you can't do. In live action.
I think they can make it like Deadpool, and they could do it like that.
Which would be fantastic. I
100% agree with you. I think they could easily remake this movie. And matter of fact, so let's do this. You're Disney. You got $200 million. You're telling me, yo, Mulberry, we got the money. We need you to cast this movie right now.
Oh yeah.
Who you got?
Yeah.
For the remake, it's coming out in 2020. Emperor's New Groove. Who you got?
Shoot. Wait,
first things first.
Hit me.
There's going to be a Pitbull song in there. It has to. If it's a shitty remake, it has to have a Pitbull remix.
It has to.
Something.
That could be
and there's
going
to be a Shakira song.
Oh,
there's going to be a Shakira song and a Pitbull song.
Why Shakira?
I don't know, because they got to put both of those.
Are you
songs.
thinking about Zootopia? You're obsessed with that movie.
Well, Zootopia is the classic. But all right, so first with the casting,
because this is a live action, that the people you cast are going to actually be in the movie. They're not going to just be voicing.
Yeah, they're going to be in the movie.
That's very different than voicing. Yeah, the character.
I know.
So you have to think about what they look like.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to lie to you. I googled Hispanic actors. You can't beat around the bush with this one. Everyone's got to be full Hispanic. Everyone's got to be 100%. And I know there's going to be some people that are like, what takes place in Peru,
right?
So I got Diego Luna.
I don't know who that is, bro. I'm gonna have to Google some shit. I don't know who that is.
Probably seen him. Have you seen Star Wars Rogue One?
Yes.
He's the guy in that.
Oh, I see him. No, I just Googled him. Yeah, no, I can see him. And you want him to be Cusco, right? He looks like a Cusco. Yeah, he looks like a Cusco. Done. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Pacha is going to be Javier Bardem.
Is he the guy in the
Skyfall and No Country for Old Men?
Yes. Okay, good.
Penelope Cruz is going to be his wife, and they're going to have to make that storyline bigger, honestly, to give her stuff to do.
Yeah, of course. It's 2019. She's going to have to do something.
And, all right, so the next one isn't an insult. Sofia Vergara is going to be Yzma.
Oh,
right?
Yo, Burry, that is perfect.
Sofia Vergara is going to be Yzma.
Perfect casting. That right there, that is perfect casting.
I think she can play that role so well. And then Kronk was a tough one. Because
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He could probably pass for whatever.
Of course
you need to pass. But I was going to say Vin Diesel.
Oh, that's pretty good. So I think Yzma is a perfect casting. Vin Diesel as Kronk, I don't know, bro. Is Vin Diesel funny? When was the last time you saw Vin Diesel be funny? Like, actually. Like, actually, though.
So, I was going to say Dave Bautista, too.
Oh, yes, he's coming up with those new movies, right? With the children, but I feel like he's
and he's funny in Guardians of the Galaxy, too.
Oh my God, he is the dude in Guardians of the Galaxy. He could do it. But I feel like The Rock would be but Rock would probably also be too expensive for the new goof as Kronk.
And he'd be Kronk, dude. Or you could go the other way. You could make Kronk like Kevin Hart.
No, I don't know if it would work though.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I like a lot of what I like. Diego Luna.
I mean, this movie gets greenlit in a second.
In an absolute second, and I really hope that they do it because Emperor's New Groove. Like all of these movies that are getting redone. Disney is just like, we know it's going to make a shit ton of money. This is the movie that they don't know if it would, but it needs to be redone because it needs the spotlight. Like this is the movie that needs the shine.
Yeah, I think Lilo and Stitch gets made way before this, but I think this is up there. And, so that's why I think this is a certified millennial classic.
Certified millennial classic.
And thanks for listening.
Of course. Catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.